Well, hello, everybody. Once again, welcome to the vidIQ Tuesday, Wednesday channel audit live stream. We are here once again for your weekly dose of channel auditing, where you get a little bit vulnerable. You expose your channel to us YouTube educators, and we fill you with knowledge, wisdom, experience, motivation, and a whole dollop of inspiration. I will be your host for the next nearly 2 hours. I go by the name of Rob, and I am your YouTuber in residence here at vidIQ. And I have a little bit of an icebreaker to kick off this live stream. And the question goes like this. If you could live in a fictional world, be it book, movie, video game, which one would it be? Let us know in the comments as I ask that very same question to the coaster with a moster. He ain't hosting, he's just talking. He doesn't have to turn any knobs or twist any dials. He just can make fun of his live stream and sabotage it wherever he wants. Dan, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well. Happy Independence Day to you.
Yes.
From yesterday.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
So if you could live in like any fictional world, book, movie, video game, whatever it was, like what would it be?
So I was going to go with Game of Thrones because it's just so fascinating, but I think I would last 17 minutes in that world. So I think Star Trek. There's just a huge lore behind it, the technology, the stories, sort of in the DS9 type of time period. That's where I'd be. What about you, Dan?
No, I don't really play this game anymore, but I think Minecraft, only because I wouldn't run out of things to do.
Right.
I think most of the fictional, like at least games and stuff I can think of, I would just get so bored. But I don't know. As long as I can have mods. If I can have mods, it's Minecraft.
So a modded video game is basically Dan's perfect world. Oh, and thank you for wishing me a happy Canada Day, Dan. I really appreciate it that you Americans remembered that.
You're not in Canada, though, so I didn't want to make you upset remembering that you're not there.
I'm not there. I'm a citizen, but I didn't get to enjoy the public holiday. Damn you, UK.
Happy Canada Day.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. And everybody somebody wants to be in a Brawl Stars universe. Wow, that's interesting there. People want to be in zombie worlds. Oh my God, there's a lot of gaming going on here. Yes, Star Trek all day long. Right answer there. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you are brand new to this live stream, we don't just do fictional worlds that you'd like to live in. We audit your channels every single week. If you are brand new to this live stream, do let us know in the chat right now. We are on an unusual day this week. Usually do this on a Tuesday, but as we mentioned in the community tab, if you are subscribed or watching our content and you get those community posts fed to your home feed on the YouTube app, you will have learned that we took a day off to enjoy those celebrations, but we're back today, and we'll be back at a regular day next week, every single Tuesday at this time. So if you are new, do let us know in the comments. Our regulars will welcome you with fantastic emojis and all of the welcoming things that you need to help you join the vidIQ Nation. But just to demonstrate what's going to happen over the next 2 hours, this is your 30-second taster. Welcome to the vidIQ Channel Reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. Final bits of housekeeping before we kick off. Super chats are very welcomed, but the usual disclaimer is they do not influence us for channel audits whatsoever. But we will guarantee, as always, that one of those super chats will be, how do I get my channel audited? So that's why I always say it right now. Also, if you want to take advantage of our wonderful emojis that you can get, which are exclusive to the vidIQ Nation members, then you can take advantage of that right now. It's entirely up to you. And we are a PG universal audit. So while many channels of shapes, sizes, and topics are welcome on YouTube, if we start to look at a channel and we think maybe this isn't really appropriate for the audience that we think are on this live stream, then we may just apologize and move on. So like curse words or anything of a sexual nature that appears on thumbnails, yeah, we'll probably just give it a pass and we apologize in advance. With all of that being said, Dan, my wingman, are you ready to audit the first channel?
Yes.
All right, then let's jump straight into it with a bit of a ding. And the first channel that submitted on the forms when we made the live stream public yesterday, and the forms are still in the description if you want to fill them out to possibly be randomly selected later on, is Me Land. That's a bit of a play on words of memes, I think. So it's kind of meme land or meme land, however you want to read that. They have just cracked 100 subscribers. I'm seeing nothing but shorts on this channel. So as we continue to move into this new world of short form content, we audit more and more short channels every single week. And it was the first channel that submitted this week. So Dan, what are your initial impressions on a channel where they don't have the advantage of thumbnails? We're kind of looking at one image, a title, maybe we'll click on one of these shorts. What do you reckon?
I think I've seen a lot of channels like this. This is a really good example of a shorts channel that is just, you know, throwing some stuff out there, trying some stuff that I would say is probably not super difficult to make. The difference would be, and we don't know, like we honestly don't know, did they get these memes from other sources or just curating memes, which would be pretty easy, right? You just find memes you like, you put them in a video, or are they making memes using templates, you know, like the Parks and Rec one there? Did they put the text on it and then decide, okay, I'm going to put this in YouTube Shorts so people can see it? We don't really know the difference, but I would say the more original your content is, the better chances you have of not running into any copyright issues, but also like having it spread because you've made something that people can't get anywhere else. So as I look at some of these, it looks like there's a bunch that have really low views in a row at the very top. And I think it's because maybe they're posting a lot. Like, maybe those were all posted kind of back to back to back, and they haven't quite like hit the algorithm yet. And then we're seeing ones that have like that 1.3K view, like, you know, that 1.2K, like that point where the short just kind of naturally stops, that we've been noticing lately for shorts channels that kind of like, you know, they post and then why is my short getting more than like 1,000 views? What's going on?
This is the Rob Wilson YouTube Shorts conspiracy theory that every short is given 1,500 views and then just dies. I do have to do this, unfortunately. Apparently, our microphone levels are completely different at the moment. Like, it said that, Dan, you were far too hot and I was too loud. So just quickly let us know. Like, am I still not loud enough? And is Dan still too loud? And we'll quickly try and adjust this for to protect your ears.
Pop, 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 pop. How's that? I lowered it, but now it's like really low.
Yeah, it's because like it came hot for me, Dan, and then it was fine, but now I'm not sure. Right? People are saying good, sounding more even. Okay, I think it was just Dan's that was hot, and it was maybe reducing a level of mine to try and compensate. So we'll assume it's all good because I've not touched anything there. Yes, Dan, some good points there about where are these memes coming from. Let's just maybe watch one of these to get a quick idea of what the viewer is experiencing when they swipe onto it. Hopefully you can all hear this.
Teacher, when they have to grade the tests, that was a problem for future me, and now I am future me. Teacher, when they have to grade the tests, that was a problem for future me, and now I am future me.
That is the loop.
When they have
So that was about 6 seconds long. Quick question, Dan. AI voice, we can obviously detect here. I'm all right with it in this shot. I think because it's meme culture, very quick, I would accept the AI voice here. Do you agree with those sentiments, or would you still prefer humans?
It made me miss the TikTok one, because I feel like the TikTok one has a personality behind it, like one that you instantly recognize, and that one was very Windows, like Microsoft, you know, AI voice. Like, I would just find a better one if you're going to do it that way, because for something like this, I can see using it. But I think where this channel is going to find success is, are they making their own memes, right? Like, are they coming up with this stuff on their own? And that's really the best advice I can give them. It's hard when you find a channel like this, it's really hard to advise, because there's not a lot of advice I can give for like, oh, how do we get people from swiping away? Well, the AI voice being a bit better could help. But also it's a white screen with some text, and you kind of like hold the picture back and then you put it on. So maybe people don't really know what's going on. So I guess I could say that you might try keeping everything on the screen at once, because people might swipe away before they even listen to what that voice has to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So a few things there, just little tweaks you can make.
My thought was that that kind of was a meme about school life, maybe doing a homework or exams. If we go to this one, which is the previous one, just click on it quickly.
Me buys groceries for 2 weeks' first meal. Me buys groceries for 2 weeks' first meal. Me.
I mean, that
buys
is
groceries for
stop.
2
Pause. That's very quick, like 3-4 seconds.
Yeah,
but that's about an entirely different topic of buying food. Like, my guess is that most people who are doing homework and going to school don't have to worry about the groceries that they buy every week.
Right.
It's maybe like a different audience. I remember last week, Dan, we looked at a channel that was doing school exam memes, and that's all they did on their channel. We're building an audience very quickly. Whereas this is just meme culture rather than focusing on a particular meme topic, which may be able to, again, just differentiate themselves a bit more from the easy competition that's going to come with this type of stuff.
Yeah. It kind of spurs what I don't want to spend too much time on, but like, there's a conversation that we don't really have enough about YouTube Shorts and the type of content people put on YouTube Shorts, because I'm still hung up on like where these are coming from, and memes alone are already kind of like copyright gray areas, because people are using clips from like TV shows and stuff as a way to like make each other laugh, which I think is widely accepted. It's fine. I looked today, I was trying to find some Shorts channels we could look at before this live stream, and a lot of you who have submitted Shorts channels, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of you have submitted Shorts channels are using.
Are you still watching?
Sorry, I'm just trying to check on how often you post. Okay.
A lot of you are using things that I can spot immediately, that things you don't own. Like, we're talking clips from like FIFA and the NFL, for example, in your Shorts content. And it's not a great way to grow as a Shorts creator. There was so many of you that I think the competition speaks for itself. Just in this one little small sample size, I couldn't find any channels that weren't like taking clips from sporting events and stuff. And then also, those organizations don't like it when people do that, and they tend to come after people eventually. So there's just like a lot of pitfalls, and YouTube Shorts seems to be this Wild West right now. And it is like a newer platform within YouTube, but I just want you guys to be aware that every time we have seen a new social media trend like this come around, like Shorts, like TikTok, eventually those platforms have to mature. And when I say mature, it means they have to get into some trouble and then they have to regulate harder. So just try to be ahead of the curve. Put as much of you into your content as you can, and try to avoid relying solely on the things that other people make and things you don't necessarily own. And that goes for any channel on YouTube, but Shorts right now, I saw it today a lot. I was just trying to pick some Shorts channels, and eventually I gave up and went to the gaming forum, where gaming channels tend to use at least gaming footage that they captured themselves. They don't own the game, obviously, but gaming channels in this crowd have been more responsible. So maybe later we'll get to check those out. There's a lot of channels to get to today, but that's just one tangent I wanted to go on.
Let's conclude with some encouragement here. I believe this is their oldest short, which was published on June the 3rd. So essentially a month ago. And they are committed to this cause on YouTube. They're posting shorts on a maybe twice a day volume. And that's good to see. And they are having some, metric success. Some shots are getting thousands of views. They've already cracked 100 subscribers. They're on their way on this journey. So I want to end with that as a level of positivity and encouragement. It's just tweaks here and there that Dana and I have suggested in this channel audits. And if you found that audit useful, then reflect that with an appropriate emoji in the chat. As we move on to our second channel, I'm going to try and remember to do that noise every time we move on to the next channel. I'm sure I'll forget. This is the first gaming channel that's submitted this week. They go by the name of ExtraToxicCrow. The imagery has a Brawl Stars look to it. When I see the channel icon and the font, I have seen a Brawl Stars thumbnail here on the right-hand side, but then we've also got Just Dance. Wow, how old is that game? I don't know how many versions of there are of that game as well.
I think there's quite a few.
Pokemon Showdown as well. So, Dan's the gaming aficionado of channel auditing, but I'm saying lack of channel focus, maybe a little bit here and there, and also posting consistency. I'll let you, Dan, delve in now. As I'll just browse around shorts. Okay, only one short, so it's mostly long form content.
Yeah. So it looks like they're still getting things figured out. And I say that because not only of the different games and things like that, the inconsistent thumbnails, things like that. I'm saying that because of the latest video being my updated YouTube intro. This shows that they're trying to just kind of get their channel, to a certain point. Maybe with this new intro, they are going to commit themselves to Brawl Stars for all we know. I don't know that. So I don't want to hang up too much on the general advice we give, but just for anyone who's new, we generally tell newer gaming channels that you should focus on one game at first, or at least one type of game, and kind of branch out slowly over time after you build up an audience first. Learn how to build the audience, basically. So I would say take that intro and unlist it so it doesn't show up in your feed, and then you could put it on your channel, intro spot wherever you want. Now, here's the question I have. That intro you made, updated my YouTube intro, are we going to see that every single time a video on your channel starts?
Yep. Good question.
Yep. I want to get into a little bit of just practical video advice for a second. No one likes those. No one likes cold open, just, splash screen intros. Those are very 2011. Try to use that. If you want to use that, use it the end of your video as a way to say goodbye. Don't hurt your retention by starting with that at the very, very front of the video. It's distracting. I really don't want to discourage anyone too hard here, but it just kind of at least to me, it kind of has that look of oh, this person kind of doesn't quite get it yet.
It's kind of funny, Dan, that they are evolving this intro. 2 years ago, it was 16 seconds long. Now it's only 8 seconds long, so they've halved the length of the intro.
Yeah.
Hopefully in another 2 years, there'll be 0-second intro, because that's what we want to see.
It really, it's so important to get people into the content and not let them go away, right? So when you have stuff like this, even if you start the video with you doing something and then you get into the intro and then you get into the actual content, that intro is the invitation to go, hey, by the way, if you were still considering watching this video, now's a good time to jump off, because you already got a taste of what we're going to talk about, and now you have this intro where you have no idea how long it's going to last. Some of them go way too long, and a lot of people do click off when they see stuff like that. So I would, if you want it for your branding, that's one thing, but I wouldn't brand every single video. You get to do that with just your style, your voice, maybe your face, whatever it might be, however you're whatever of you're putting into your content, that can become your brand, and you can kind of build on it over time. You don't need to make these silly splash screen intros for every single video.
Now then, I have just spotted something here. If I click by most popular, we have an outlier, a huge outlier. All the other videos on the channel have less than 1,000 views, except for this Just Dance Now, Can't Stop the Feeling, which has 118,000 views. I'll click on it and pause it because we don't want to get any copyright issues. What's the engagement on this? So 700 likes, 30 comments. I'm probably going to say that is organic views. The problem is now that 90, I would say, yeah. So let me just check the numbers here. 118,000 views. Channel has a total of 122,000 views. So 97 to 98% of your audience that's encountered your channel have come through this single video, which effectively right now is for you mega viral content, and you're placed in that Just Dance Now bucket as a channel. So the things that we see before, afterwards, you got a Brawl Stars one, Just Dance, Pokemon, and an intro, all varying topics within the gaming genre. What does the channel do here, Dan? Do they embrace that one viral moment, or they just say, I need to put this aside and really focus on what I'm going to be doing going forward? Because, you know, there are some green shoots, at least of view counts. You know, we have a couple of Brawl Stars ones here with 600 views, which did well. You know, there's still some spiky view counts, even within the stuff that's not that mega popular video. So, yeah, I think big topic and target audience questions that the creator needs to answer here.
Yeah, there's like one thing you have to check. Is that video still getting views today, right?
Yeah.
And if it is, then it might be the time to have that conversation. If that video is effectively dead right now in 2023, then you can probably ignore it and just kind of do whatever you want to do on your channel, because it's not bringing in new viewers, right? It's just kind of there. Could it get traction again though? Maybe in the future. So something else to keep in mind. But the reason we bring it up is because what tends to happen is if that video is still getting views today, you are attracting a Just Dance audience.
Yep.
But now you're trying to pivot to Brawl Stars, two totally different topics. I would assume two totally different audiences. And therefore, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to start a different channel. So you can just let this one kind of sit and gain its views, you know, passively. And then you start a Brawl Stars channel and you just kind of focus on that. Take everything you've learned from this one, bring it to that one. So there's different things you can kind of do, but you want to keep in mind, just think about who your channel is bringing in today. And are they the right audience for the content you're making today?
And finally, and this applies to all creators, can you commit to a posting consistency that you can manage? Because what I see so far is a video every couple of months, maybe 2 in 1 month, etc., etc. Especially with a gaming channel where content tends to be recycled fairly quickly. Your audience is probably wanting and expecting more. Now, I'm going to suggest this. We're exactly halfway through the year. So can you do 1 video a week for the rest of the year? So that'd be 26 videos. Or, let's do the maths, 13 videos. So that's 1 every 2 weeks or 2 a month until the end of the year. Because right now, it seems like you're not fully committed to this. You're kind of just dabbling. You're playing different games. All right, I'm going to, you know what, this morning I'm going to do a video. Okay, I've done it. And then you don't think about it for another 2 or 3 weeks. It kind of feels like you're just dipping your toe in the water. And, you know, you don't want to put on a channel banner that you are going to, you know, new video every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You know, this is a commitment to yourself as a creator. And that is ExtraToxicCrow. We'll move on to the next channel now. I did remember to use that sound effect. We are looking at Weird Kindred. And I think, Dan, when I was looking through the list beforehand, they described themselves as a Viking sewing reenactment channel. And I think this might be a vidIQ first after 6 years of channel auditing. I don't think we've ever audited a channel like this. So we're in a completely unique audience, which is always fantastic to see. But they may still have some of the same common challenges as other creators have. So can we identify this for a channel which is approaching the new monetization requirement of 500 subscribers?
One thing I noticed on the banner is that your channel name is spelled incorrectly. You mixed up the R and the Y there. So just a quick note if you get around to it.
Good spot. I didn't even see that. Well, one of them's wrong, isn't it? See,
well, because their @ handle is also WYRD. So I think they did mean it. So I think it is the banner. But yeah, it could be your other handles too. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what this channel. So I guess they are making crafts that would be for from a certain era, for like a time period. Yeah, That's really interesting.
Is this not a thing in the US? Like all of it? I mean, they do like Civil War reenactments and stuff. I think in the UK it's more like medieval and stuff from 1,000 years ago plus and so on.
I think what would be interesting with this content is so like let's see, make a simple and tough 4-strand braid and eyelets. Like, okay, I know like you're making really complex things, at least from where I'm sitting. This is complex. I think pitching this content to a wider audience, like look at the videos with like the higher view counts. Let's talk about Viking Age herringbone. Like that sounds a little more approachable, right? So like a Viking beginner's guide to 3 basic Viking, like perfect. So again, approachable content. Sometimes like I don't know what I'm going to get. Like Viking Age seam treatments part 1 beginner's guide. Like seam treatments don't seem like something that people would search for, right? So I also think you can go broader with this content whereby like Vikings were this, like you're showing something really interesting that people, you know, can recognize immediately, like it's a certain type of shoe or something, but it looks weird. And so you're making that the focus of the thumbnail. Like, look what the Vikings wore. Look at the things that they put in their hair. Look at, you know, I think you could get that broader audience if you just go for that, like, I want to say shock value, but it's not really shock. It's just like intrigue. Yeah, you get what I mean. Like, it's
I was looking at this one like an alternative could be these were the Air Jordans of the Vikings or something like that. Give it that cultural relevance.
Right. You know, what did they use those shoes for? Where was it hiking? Was it athletic? Yeah. And then you can try and like Rob said, if it was athletic, then it's like the Air Jordans of that era, or I don't know what good, you know, maybe think of a REI like for hiking, right? The Viking REI. I have no idea. But that's where I would be going with this content, thinking about that wider audience. Like people might want to see you make this stuff, not from a learning perspective, but just from an ASMR, like, oh, this looks really cool and fascinating perspective. And you could do both. You can do content where you're like the basics of creating this thing, and you can do content where it's just like, watch me create this thing. And maybe it's not as long. Maybe it's like a 12-minute thing. You've kind of edited, you've sped up certain parts, and it's just kind of cool to see something come together from nothing, right? So I feel like you could probably attract a pretty wide audience to this because I'm intrigued, but I will never make this stuff myself. I just won't.
For the first time this week, Dan, let's delve into thumbnails a little bit. Let's just give one short opinion and go back and forth on this one a little bit. So I would say, first of all, that some of the thumbnails are very flat. For example, this one where the background is in focus with what's in the foreground, so it makes it difficult to see I don't know where my eye should be attracted to first on the thumbnail. So that'll be my first quick tip. What about you?
I would say that using text and then a picture of you, when what you make seems to be very visually interesting, like you're making you the star of the thumbnail when it should be like the thing you're making. And in some cases it might not need text. It could be you holding something, so you could still be in it. But I feel like these thumbnails aren't selling me on the content. It's just kind of like, you know, I have to do a lot of work as the viewer to figure out what is this video about.
And then for me, generally speaking, there's probably too much text on some of these. Like this one, I think having 2 lines of text on a thumbnail rarely works for me. It's got to have 1 block of text and then that's it. If it's something to read here and then something to read here, and then I've also got you to look at as well, that's 3-4 seconds of thumbnail decoding, which probably takes too long. Like this one, I think is more effective. Just 2 words, you're pointing at something. All right, maybe you want a magnifying glass to zoom in on what you're actually pointing. That might help. But I think this is one of the more effective thumbnails for me. And then maybe one more thumbnail thought from you, Dan, if there are any left to pick out.
I feel like we've kind of covered it.
All right, so I want to do a bit of positivity then. You know, this channel has been going for 4 months. And actually, the thumbnails for a 4-month-old channel that's done 10 videos, 11 videos, they're actually not that bad. You know, the foundations are there in that you have like a couple of elements and you're trying to get people to look at the right element, but you just haven't nailed that down. Like there's some principles there which are good for you to work on.
Yeah.
Next thing, video length. Most of these are very long videos. And I think when you are a small creator and you haven't built up that audience trust and loyalty yet, they may see the length of a video and go, whew, that's a big commitment from somebody I've never seen before with just 400 subscribers. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't do these videos, but can they take elements of these videos and turn it into a 3-4 minute clip? Because I already know you're doing shorts, so that's fine. Well, you've done a couple of shorts, but I'm just wondering if you want to test video lengths a little bit more.
Yeah, when I see hour-long video, 47-minute video, it does make me ask the question before I get into the content, has this been edited down so that like the best bits are in here, or is there going to be a lot of, I've watched videos on YouTube where, and I'm not saying this person's doing this, but I've watched a lot of videos where they leave a lot of their mistakes in, and then it becomes clear like partway through the content that, oh, they're not doing any editing. They just kind of took this in one shot,
Yeah.
So that people start to kind of worry when they see stuff like this. Like I've watched a lot of crafts channels in the past and they don't make 50-minute videos. So are you making videos that are a length of, and I'm saying like, that's the audience talking themselves. I don't know how long craft videos should be. So that I was going to say, look and see what your competition is kind of doing. Like, do a lot of people do very, very long videos in the space? And in that case, maybe ignore us. But that is like, yeah, I noticed that as well.
And I think let's just check out one of the videos. I'm going to watch the first 10 to 15 seconds, see what they've got to offer. Just rewind it to the beginning. Hopefully you can hear this.
Hey folks, let's talk seam treatments. In the days before the overlocker and the cover stitch, what secret sorcery was used to stop our raiment from unravelling? How did Viking Age people put together their clothing and protect their precious fabric from wear and tear?
All right, we'll leave it there at 17 seconds. Dan, what are your impressions?
I think their on-camera presentation is very nice. I don't think there's anything like, there's nothing wrong with this intro. I think from a retention standpoint, I would love to see some B-roll of the things they're talking about.
Yep.
How do they protect their precious fabrics? I can see you kind of like, flipping through different fabric and doing like, so B-roll that maybe you even used later in the video, you bring it to the front of the video, and then you just kind of like give me that visual stimulation with you talking in the background. And then maybe you introduce your face just like a little bit after that main hook, right? So for the hook of the video, you focused right away. You didn't say, hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing this, but first I want to talk about some community news. Like you didn't waste anyone's time. This is a little bit long, I think, for like a splash screen intro. Like it's just kind of going and going. And then there you are again. So how long are we into the video now?
We are now 45 seconds into the video.
Yeah, so it's a really long time to not get, that visual satisfaction of like fabric and stitching and all that stuff.
So I'll just click forward. So this is where they are when they're doing this. So we've got a top-down camera. You just see the hands. Also, I will put the volume up because you may notice something here.
Overlaps. If you've watched that Stitches video,
the audio, I think, is improved quite a lot here. If I just jump back.
And finally, a simple seam.
You can tell there's a difference in audio there. It suggests to me that they're using an onboard mic from the camera, or they haven't been able to find a position to put a mic. So a lav mic might fix the issue here. And also, Dan, set dressing. They're just stood in front of a bland wall, probably with a window to their left-hand side for a bit of natural light. But given that they are a channel about clothing and items, they should be starting to think about how they can do some set decoration here to give it more of an authentic feel. We have YouTube stuff in the background and whatnot. And actually, I've just forgot to do this. My God, we are live. Sorry about that, folks. Oof. We are live, aren't we, Dan? I've just been talking to no one for the last
That's a close one.
Yeah, we are live. But yeah, just like set dressing, making it feel, because you're trying to get people into the experience. And, the first thing they see is you wearing an outfit, but beyond that, lacking a little bit.
Yeah, there's stuff you can hang on your wall. There's also like the YouTuber studio look where you have like in the background, so you're in front of your setup where you would actually be stitching this stuff together. So in your background would be the table and a sewing machine perhaps, and like whatever you normally use to make this stuff, and you're in the front of everything, got some lights on you. I would say everything I'm saying right now is like a stretch goal. Like this is when things are going a bit better for your channel, maybe it's making a little bit of money, and you reinvest it into the look and feel of your content. But yeah, at the very least, like we could make some small tweaks that wouldn't cost a lot. But I think the biggest change would be really heavily relying on B-roll, you know, for these moments where you're in front of the camera, just kind of talking things through. You know, you should be in the content. I like to see people's faces in the content. You just, you know, it's good to mix in visually stimulating elements, especially if you're talking about things that you do have footage to show for.
Final thing, and this is a big positive. You know your target audience. You've solved one of the biggest problems creators have very early on. And you are clearly very passionate and very skilled at what you do. You have to now take that passion and that target audience and refine the communication, whether it be in the thumbnails, how you present on screen, the titles, making them a bit simpler. Those are your next big things that you need to fix on your channel. So well done to you, Weird Kindred, for being one of the most unique channels I think we've audited in 2023. All right, Dan, sorry, self-indulgence here. I forgot to set my clock in the background. So pick a GIF that we can have going on here.
Me pick a GIF?
Yeah.
Give me that magnifying glass one.
The magnifying glass one. You've got it. All right, so there we are. That should make the clock in the background. Do that on repeat as a loop. It's kind of visually interesting. And we'll do that for a bit. Right. You know what? I think we'll also do, Dan, if I can find the right button, start playing the music. Oh, yeah. I hope you can hear that. I can never tell
where's that coming
how
from?
audio levels work on StreamYards. But it is time for some super chats.
Oh.
And whenever we do a super chat, you get a wonderful noise and lights in the background, a little bit like this. Improvement Burst asks, is it allowed to use photos of famous people with some editing in thumbnails or content? When is it allowed and when is it not? Is it a good idea?
We're not like legal scholars, so we can't give you permission to just use copyrighted images, footage, things like that. There is something called fair use. I will let you look that up and kind of determine for yourself whether or not what you're doing feels like it falls into it. But as Emily Baker says, she's been on these live streams before, fair use is a defense. If you're ever claiming, well, this is fair use, that means you're standing before a judge. So just know that, like, even if you think something's within fair use, that doesn't necessarily stop the copyright holder from trying to maybe give you a copyright claim. And it's a risk, but so is starting a gaming channel. That's also a risk because there are certain game companies that might not like you using their game for content purposes, and they have every right to come after any gaming channel. So that's like the balance here. That's the world of YouTube.
How much does the content rely on the footage, photos, music that you're taking from elsewhere? I think that can be because I don't think you'll ever get a copyright claim, you know, just like an automated claim from a photo. But if your video is just like a montage of famous photos from Time magazine or something, then if it gets 20 million views, Time magazine are probably going to come after you. So yeah. The common sense thing is don't use other people's content. We all say that, but we all to some degree are sometimes bending those rules ever so slightly. You know, for example, I often source YouTube's videos when they're releasing a new tool, but I hope through fair use and education and the fact that we're often promoting YouTube stuff, they're not gonna complain about it.
Right.
We'll see if that ever happens in the future. YouTube, please don't do that. Minati, I don't know if the pipes at the front are actually part of her name. What's your tips for music cover channels? Dan, I'll try and field this one because it is always a tough question because we're not music experts. The one thing that I always remember when we had a person on staff who had a music channel was the title of your video is your most powerful ally. Mm-hmm. That has to tie in to the search discoverability. So whatever the genre is of the music, try to include that in your title. But beyond that, I'm not sure. And
all
right, Dan's got something. Good.
YouTube Shorts. I I say YouTube Shorts because that is a great opportunity for someone who's never looked for your content before to find it. You know, YouTube Shorts, go on the short shelf. You'll see it for yourself. It just, you scroll and stuff just starts happening, right? So imagine that's you playing the guitar and singing. You don't do an introduction. It's literally just starts on the first note. And if people like what they hear, they will listen, right? So that is my advice for music channels in 2023. Like if you're doing covers and things like that, if you're making songs from scratch, use YouTube Shorts. Please use YouTube Shorts for that.
Joshy12, I don't know if you mistyped out the question here because I don't understand it. Is it okay to do 2 games on one channel if are battling? I think it's if they are battling gay, like games that compete with each other. That's how I'm going to interpret it. Yes, like if there's a big crossover of the games where you can compare them. So it might be like, for example, Dan, Call of Duty and Battlefield 2142. You know, there's crossover there. You could do comparisons. So that might be okay to do if you can work it into the content.
Yeah, it depends. If you're talking about fighting games, do some research. Do other channels have those 2 games on their channel? Like, do they feel like this caters to the same audience? And what kind of views do those video games get on the channels you're looking at and researching? Like, do a little bit of research, but you got to approach this from the perspective of the audience and the community that you're trying to build on your channel. Are people who come to your channel going to be interested in both those types of games, right? Like, so yeah, it could prove to be distracting if you just try stuff and you're confused about like, well, this gets like 100 views, this gets 200 views, this gets 1,000 views, this gets 1,500. Like, what does it mean? You know, do some research and try and figure out where that audience is.
All right, next question comes from Elephant999. What are the basic steps a person can do to learn their content efficiently to stand out from others so they can convey their knowledge to others? It's quite a wordy question, but
yeah, I'm trying to like dissect it. Basic steps a person can basically use to learn how to effectively stand out. Practice. That would be one. If you have like a skill, this is why we're always telling channels to focus, right? Like if you have a skill set or a place of knowledge that you're very passionate about, then start by making videos about that one thing, right? And sit in front of the camera and just practice, you know, like that means make videos and put them out there and let them be bad at first. And just try to like reflect on those later and improve little by little over time. When everyone starts out, if you look at their first videos, like they're probably not too proud of where they are today, right? Like they're here today and they look at their old content like, goodness gracious, I'm glad I'm not making stuff that looks like that anymore. So yeah, I don't know. That's step one, I think, is just, well, step one is figure out what the heck you want to do in YouTube. Step two is practice.
So I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to make a video about this channel, Dan. I got caught in a YouTube rabbit hole a couple of nights ago.
Are you okay?
I think I'm fine. I'm 1.5 hours deep into this video, which is about Wing Commander, right? This is a 1990s space simulator game. And I'll just show you the channel, right? This is their first video, right?
Wow.
100,000 views in 4 months, right? It is being picked up by the YouTube thingamajig. That's what I'm calling the algorithm these days. Proves that a video can go viral in one sense on the first effort.
Yeah. It's
a retrospective analysis of a fairly successful 1990s space sim shooter that's 2 hours long, right? And I've been watching 30-minute segments of this. The creator has clearly done a ton of research, not only into the game itself, like probably more research than anybody's ever done on Wing Commander on YouTube, and has put out a documentary style video. But what they've also done is research tons of other creators to determine how to script it, edit it, put everything together. So they've done tons of stuff beforehand to prepare this video.
Yeah.
And this video kind of goes against a lot of what we suggest. Like, I wouldn't recommend somebody spend probably 6 months on one video, be their first video, and have it 2 hours long about a 30-year-old video game that only probably I'm familiar with, and you know, a few others. But they've found an audience for it. because it stands out. This is something completely new. It's longer than anything else I've ever seen on the game. It's more comprehensive than anything else I've ever seen on the game. And it just shows a complete passion for this space simulator game. And they've covered everything in one video. And the next one they're going to do is X-Wing. And that'll probably come out in 6 months. You know, they're doing the Mark Rober approach to YouTube where they release 2 or 3 videos a year.
Yeah.
So if you want to know how to stand out, you do something that's just almost impossible to replicate by any other creator on the platform. And this creator's done it in one video. And I've probably just done the video that I may make about this. I just don't know how to turn it into something that's really, like, how can I make Wing Commander really interesting for an audience?
It's not Wing Commander. It's these channels that like do the work. Like the topic itself, we're looking at the title and thumbnail of this channel right now for this viral hit for them. And there's nothing about it that we would generally agree with in a channel review scenario, right? With the thumbnail has too much text. The title is too basic. Like those are the things you can hear us saying. And yet the video did well despite that. Why did it do well? Because of what you said. It was the research. It was the time and effort put into the content. Like people see, like, yes, the thumbnail is not great and the title is simple, but it's simple enough to where people go, oh, Wing Commander retrospective analysis, and they see it's 2 hours long and they're like, that does sound like the length of like what someone, if you do enough research, so let me just see what this thing is. That's probably what you said to yourself, right? Like, what the heck? And you checked it out and you're watching it, you're coming back to it
within 90 seconds and like, right, this has got me. I've got to keep watching it. I've got to keep watching it.
I'm going to mention Josh Strife Hayes again. I talked about him recently in a video because this is the type of work that you'll find him doing on his channel. He makes a series called Worst MMO Ever. Again, title thumbnails, nothing spectacular, but he plays an MMO. He plays and plays and plays it. One you've maybe never heard of. He crafts this brilliant review of it based on his experience with the game. He does a bunch of research and he compiles it into like a 40-minute video essay on this one MMO. They take a long time to make, but each one gets so many views because he's putting in the work. Like he's putting himself through something to like make this content, you know? And some of like Ryan Trahan's doing the Penny series again. He's putting himself through something to like make this incredible series. He had to, you know, travel across the world and now he's trying to survive on 1 penny. And like this is like what stands out. Effort, right? I think that's what it boils down to.
Final point, that is a perfect target audience value proposition. An exhaustive history of space sims told from the perspective of a relative newcomer. Like, that is your target audience right there. I'm going to have to post a comment on this person's video now saying, hey, we kind of did a random channel audit just to show you're a brilliant example of how to make your first video on YouTube. Yeah, that'll have to be the title, shouldn't it, Dan? Like, how to make your first video on YouTube get 100,000 views. That's the title. All right, I just need somebody to script this for me because I can't be bothered doing it myself. All right, let's move on to the next one there. We spent a bit of time on that one. We got another member to the vidIQ Nation memberships. You'll get a unique sound effect. I haven't got Jeff with me today, so you may hear that sound effect again if there are any more new members. Do I need a niche with shorts?
I would say so. Yeah. And I mean, you don't, but you should. I like the shorts channels that I am a fan of. I know what I'm going to get every time I see those people pop up, the characters pop up. Just go look at like some of the top shorts channels on YouTube and you'll notice very quickly that they are consistently like doing something for their audience over and over again. That Little Puff is one I watch a lot. It's videos about a cat that cooks. The McFarlanes, I think they're called, is this family that makes YouTube shorts and they're hilarious. And like they always have like similar there's something about them, probably just the fact that it's them in the shorts all the time, but something about them has like a through line that I can't quite identify. So at first it was like stereotypical dad things, but it's kind of branched out beyond that. In any case, it should consistently be for the same audience because YouTube is going to be like, hey, you've watched like 4 shorts from this person, so I'm going to continually show you shorts from them now. And if you just keep doing random stuff, people are going to swipe away and YouTube's like, oh, I guess you didn't like that channel. Dylan Hollis is somebody I watch a lot. They're a cooking channel and they always make recipes from really old cookbooks. And it's really hilarious to like watch them like put this together, commentate on it, and then try it at the end. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. So yeah, those are the shorts channels that I like. And anytime YouTube shows me their stuff now, I always stop because I know I'm going to like it.
Next question comes from FerretTube TV. Hey guys, I'm never sure what category to submit under for audit, as I give equal time to live, shorts, and longs. My lives are 24/7 too, so can you advise on the best category to submit under, please? I don't think it really matters too much if you put it as longs or shorts. I'd say if it's an equal amount, put it as longs, because I still kind of feel that shorts are always a secondary avenue for creators if I do both. Yeah, I'm not really sure if there's a question there, but let's talk about live 24/7 live streams, Dan.
Well, first of all, like, which one do you want advice on the most is what I would put under your category, because we'll kind of focus like, oh, we see shorts, we'll kind of like tab over to your shorts first. But anyway, 24/7 live streams, awesome if you can pull that off. You know, you can actually, there's things you can, like services you can get that make that a lot easier to do. Good camera quality, I would say, is important. It's FerretTube TV, so I assume it's ferrets 24/7. Do they have toys and things they can run around in? And then what kind of community are you creating? One channel that I've seen do very well is called, I think, Tiny Kittens HQ. And they are a rescue service for cats. So there's like a larger purpose behind their channel, and they're using it to like adopt out cats. So it's a bit different for them, but they give the cats a ton of toys, and they will have their chat just kind of going. There's moderators that are really well aware of everything going on behind the scenes. And so when people come in to ask questions, they generally get those questions answered. They're like, oh, has this cat been adopted yet? No, in fact, they're not, but you can sign up on the website and try to adopt them if you're looking to do that. Like, there's like a big community around it. So when it comes to live streams, it's really about like the community you're building. And just leaving ferrets on 24/7, and if they're just kind of sleeping all the time, nothing a lot's going on, that's like one way to do it. But you can put love into that to try and like get the stream to grow, just based on like the experience when someone comes in.
I feel as if YouTube sometimes has a love-hate relationship with 24/7 live streams. For example, the Lo-Fi Girl, that's like been a huge success.
Yeah,
I've even noticed now recently, Dan, there are lore channels or videos about Lo-Fi Girl, like how it's changed over time and the characters, like Easter eggs and stuff. On the opposite end of a scale, I've seen some channels that do 24/7 tracking of subscriber counts when they were available, not get monetized, you know, for reasons of, I'm not sure whether YouTube regards it as repetitious, reuse content, or like just data scraping content, etc., etc. I don't know if this conversation is relevant at all, but like 24/7 live streams, that is certainly a category on YouTube. And as you say, I think going down that route of building a community around it with something unique happening, something that could potentially uniquely happen at any moment, is what they're kind of looking for, I think, on them. But yeah, well, maybe we'll have a discussion about that in a future channel if we get to audit one.
What you just touched on there is another thing that I'll see Tiny Kittens do a lot. When the kittens do something really cute, like that will later become a clip on the channel, right? Like whether it's a short or just a short video. So yeah, and then you also mentioned Lo-Fi Girl, how there's like Easter eggs and there's lore behind it. That speaks again to community. Like enough people watch it and pay enough attention to where the creator behind that can like do things, and people start to notice like, oh, something's different, you know? So live streams are all about community, in my opinion, and you can even have that with a 24/7 live stream. It's just kind of how you approach it.
I think we have our super chat. Hey guys, just put in an application for review. I'd love your feedback. Well, if it gets randomly selected, then you may get the feedback, but this super chat will not influence whether or not that happens, unless our random claw generator is somehow tied into this. Wouldn't that be a conspiracy theory? We've got a new member. Snuggly Snorlax has joined the team. Thank you. Welcome to vidIQ Nation memberships. Give us some emotes. Are we going to make some more emotes soon, Dan? Are we still on the 5 that we have available?
It's it's in my brain somewhere. But I need to like push that through.
All right, and let's take this one more super chat before we get back to audits. Folian Form, is that how you pronounce your channel name? I have a 1 million viewed short. It's not relevant to my channel content though. Should I delete it? The curse of the YouTube shorts.
I have to like ask myself this question because I've been like playing around with shorts a lot, and I've inadvertently done shorts that I've realized later, oh, this doesn't really match what I was doing before. And so
Yeah.
I'm asking myself the very same question. And it doesn't seem to be impacting the stuff I'm doing on the long form side. Like, it's just almost like I'm running two separate channels in one, the shorts over here, the longs over here. So I'm kind of studying this myself. If you're getting a lot of views from that today, I'll just fall back on what I said earlier. If it's getting a lot of views today, you might consider making that tough choice of moving it somewhere else, moving the rest of what you're doing somewhere else, or getting rid of it. But if you're uploading long form videos and you haven't noticed an impact, they're not behaving differently, you could just ignore it since we're talking shorts and you might be, asking the question based on your long form performance. But
There's also the added conundrum of, let's say you're working towards monetization and those 1 million views reflect a third of the views that you need for the shorts requirements. Like, I need these views. If I make them unlisted, they're not going to count. So it's a tough one. But it is, be careful what you wish for. Like, you make a short and it goes viral. That's good. Yeah, don't want to make any more of those videos. Well, you shouldn't have made it in the first place. Let that be a lesson to you, you yoob. Right, so that is super chats for now. We'll return to them a little bit later. We have a lot of them to try and return to a little bit later. But we'll get back to some channel auditing now, Dan. And we are looking at My Silver Journey. They have 600 plus subscribers. The amazing world of gold and silver has so much to offer and explore. Tell us what you found out about this channel.
Yeah, this was one that pulled up, and again, they've answered the question for themselves. What do I do on YouTube? Like, who's my audience? And they've been very consistent with that content, which is great to see. A lot of people start YouTube and they don't figure it out for a long time, like what they want to stick to. Well, the first thing I noticed, though, is that every single thumbnail looks like it comes from a totally different place.
Yeah.
They are about the same thing, except for the mail call ones, which I'll get to. But you're using different fonts, different color schemes, different faces, because maybe your face is not in the content. So you're just kind of using, stock people, like it kind of feels like building a community is going to be really difficult for this channel because it's, one day after the next, it's different people and different vibes on this channel constantly. So that is going to be my first advice to you. Let's try and get a more consistent thumbnail style down. At least pick a font that you like, that's nice and bold and easy to read, and something you like that you can use when you do put text in your thumbnails. And then let's talk about topic for a sec too. The mail time stuff, that feels like not about silver or gold. Mail call fun. Go check these guys out. I don't exactly know where those videos fit into my silver journey. And it looks like you kind of do this as a regular thing. Maybe you're just getting letters from your viewers. I'm not really sure, but is this the right channel for that? Should this not be on a second channel? Or do people send you coins? That's different. Then you could talk about maybe what people sent you, the value of it, and not focus so much on Mail Call Monday.
Maybe it's that. Maybe
it could be that. Yeah.
In which case, I think it just needs a better, more intriguing, exciting title.
Exactly. Mail Call Monday sounds kind of boring, but what did you get in the mail that's mind blowing? Did you get something that your regular viewers would be really interested in? And then you could make it a regular series, but you just try not to brand it with something like Mail Call Monday. It sounds so uninviting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm caught up on this word here, journey. You as a viewer want to embrace this creator's journey, I assume, right? This journey of finding the rarest coins, the most valuable coins, or coins that mean something to you, they have a story to tell. And that is completely shattered by the thumbnails, Dan, because as you say, is this person in this video? Is that woman in this video? Is this person in that? And the answer is no. From what I can see, it's their hands. Mostly. Now, maybe let's just quickly click on one and let's see if they are in front of camera at all. And if the answer is no, then a human being should not be appearing in a thumbnail, in my opinion. It should be this.
Yeah.
The reward, the discovery, the coins. I mean, look at this. You've got well, I don't know if this might not be, you might be in a shop right now, or is this your personal collection? You know, using that for your thumbnails, I think would be far more interesting. I'm just going to scan quickly. It is just a bit of B-roll, camera on some coins with your hands. So my first call to action here is to remove humans if they're not you from the thumbnails and celebrate the coins. Also shrink down the text as well. Because as you say, Dan, I'm not getting a human connection here with the content. They feel like they're AI generated thumbnails in one sense. And the creator needs to really fix that as a presentation point of view. Because like this channel banner and this icon, these are like quite iconic. They've got a bit of branding to them. They're interesting, but the thumbnails don't follow up on that.
I want to talk about the latest video real quick. So a hard choice to make. The best silver in the stack is with the text in the thumbnail, and there's some coins. The disconnect between the title and the thumbnail here is making it really hard to click on this video for me, because you say it's a hard choice to make, but you haven't done anything in the thumbnail that supports a choice being made. If you were holding up two coins and they're split down the middle and said versus, you know, that would at least communicate on a very basic level choice. And then I would have to ask the question, well, what is it about these two coins that why are you picking? It looks like you already have both of them, you know? So there's a lot of different ways we can like mentally break down the different titles and thumbnails you can do. And then your hook has to support whatever you're going to say in that title and thumbnail, right? So you have to have recorded. This is why we tell people to work on this before they record anything, so that your hook can, like when people click on the video, the title and the thumbnail, it all makes sense, right?
Let's play the first 15 seconds, Dan. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Sometimes I walk over to my safe, open it up and just look and think to myself, I have been able to do something I never thought I could. I've saved a substantial amount of money just by converting it into something physical and not buying something stupid.
All right, I'm going to pause it there. So in the first 20 seconds, there should have been some stakes raised about this hard choice to make, as Dan was alluding to. And then the second thing I would say is that they've got a really soothing, calming voice, which again, when you look back to the thumbnails, which are big, bright and punchy and like almost in your face, it doesn't match the presentation as well. Like I feel as if once I got into a video, I could probably listen to your voice and you talk about what you're passionate about for 14 minutes, but the setup is polar opposite to the execution.
Right. There is, and people here saying can't hear him. It was kind of low, but yeah, just rest assured there's calming music and a voice that's just really like calm and everything's cool. I feel like they were going to get to the hard choice. Like it sounded like they were starting to tell a story, but it just, that's where like we talk about storytelling tactics and there might be a little bit to learn there, because it felt like it was 20 seconds in and I didn't know when it was going to get there. And nothing about a hard choice or stacks of silver. I didn't really quite get the connection. Also, when you said, sometimes I open my safe, it would have been cool to like see the safe opening, you know, and things like that. Like just nice visual B-roll, because it looks like a lot of your content takes place with just your coins in your hands, just doing this. And that's not visually like exciting for very long. So B-roll, like, and you can do this by taking different coins, putting them on little pedestals and like just take a day to get like B-roll shots of some of your favorite coins that you talk about all the time. And then you'll just have them. And then when you talk about like a certain like Canadian coin, for example, you can use that B-roll like when you're talking about it and stuff like that. So there's a lot that can be done to, you know, to bring more like visual like stimulation to that content too.
Good to see that you're doing shorts, and conspiracy theory confirmed once again. Exactly the same view counts on shorts. Yeah. What's going on here, YouTube? What is going on? I need answers. That is the silver, or my silver journey. We're going to move into Twitter for just 1 second, because did you know that we're not just present on YouTube? We are available on Facebook through our group. We've got a huge Discord community. We're on Instagram. We'll be returning to TikTok very, very soon. But every single week, Viper runs is it every single week? Most weeks he runs a Twitter competition. where he asks for your thumbnails, and the one that looks the coolest or is the most visually appealing or feels as if there might be an interesting channel behind it wins a channel audit, and it is Onestep winning the channel audit this week. Dan, they are a gaming channel that's all things fighting games. They have 15,000 subscribers, so gaming channel with 10,000 plus subscribers. Not often that we see a channel of this size, so we can probably dig into some interesting stuff here. First thoughts, please.
My first thought is, why view counts in the hundreds when the channel is at 15,000 subscribers? Did something pop off for them, or did they switch topics? Oh, multiverses.
What is this, a Warner Brothers multiverse game?
Yeah, it's like a fighting game with Warner Brothers characters.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like yeah. So tons of views here. This was the channel a year ago.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Like sometimes you pivot, and they did the thing we talk about, right? When you pivot, you want to pivot into something similar. So they went to a Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Now I don't know. Like it looks like there was one Mortal Kombat on the popular tab.
There was, yeah, just the one.
So that's good. It's just, you have to ask the question at this point now, like, is Mortal Kombat and multiverses similar enough? Because it's not just about the genre of game. It's about the type of audience that would play multiverses versus Mortal Kombat. Like Mortal Kombat, if I understand correctly, is a pay to get into game, right? Like you pay $60 and you get the disc and you put in your PlayStation. Whereas multiverses, if I'm not mistaken, is or was a free to play experience. And then there was obviously microtransactions and things like that. So already there's a separation. If I'm right about that, there's a separation in audience because multiverses was more accessible to more people thanks to it being free. So that's like step one. Step two, think about the characters being used. Mortal Kombat is a much more violent game than multiverses where you have Tom and Jerry fighting each other, fighting Batman. You know, it's a different culture around that game. So Marvel versus Capcom might have been like a better swap over when you're talking about the types of like genre and characters and things like that. Street Fighter, like, these games are much more intense fighting games. Smash Brothers might have been a good one to get into. But yeah, you got to feel out where your audience is, not just in their interests, but like financially too. If your audience is playing multiverses, it's because maybe they don't want to or cannot buy a more like high tier quote unquote game. It's like $60, $70 price tag. It's not their thing. So a lot of stuff to consider there.
I highlighted Street Fighter 6 just because, Dan, I think their cadence looks like they're doing 2 Mortal Kombats to 1 Street Fighter, but the Street Fighter videos are bringing in double views just purely from a performance standpoint, which I thought was interesting. So like, do they say, right, well, let's pivot around to 2 Street Fighter 6 videos versus 1 Mortal Kombat 1 video? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because like you say, they're following the edict of let's stay within one-on-one beat-em-ups.
Yeah.
But there's still some variance in the performance of these videos.
I really think it speaks to just the type of person who would watch content about multiverses when compared to Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I think that's why they're not getting 100,000 views anymore. Plus multiverses, it's some kind of shakeup. Something happened. I don't even know if it's the thing anymore. I think they might have even discontinued the service altogether. I cannot remember. Yeah. Something happened to that game. So that also does not bode well for them. They probably were forced to pivot. But I mean, multiverses is kind of an adorable looking game when you compare it to Mortal Kombat, and that alone could turn people off.
Look at that. Exactly the same views every single shot.
I really think it's a sample size thing. I think that's about the number YouTube needs to get good data on shorts.
I know. Oh, nice use of community tab. Pictured polls. Mm-hmm. That's a good response from a channel of your size. Can you do daily community posts, please? To increase that, I would suggest. So we are doing shorts. They're doing lives as well on a very regular basis. All right. So they're into all parts of the creator sphere here. Dan, any general recommendations on regular live streams like this, like 2 or 3 a week?
I think it's great to do, builds community. So that's really strong to see. I think these thumbnails look really, really, really busy, and your live streams can get views after they're no longer live streams. So I would be kind of thinking about it from that perspective. Like if you can put a little more work into title thumbnails like you do for your main content, I think that'll help. But ultimately, it's just great to do these on a gaming channel and like build up that community feel. If that's what you want on your channel, like maybe you have a Discord, or you have like memberships. Memberships on YouTube work a lot better when you live stream. So there's those benefits to it. Going back to like the content itself. The final thing I want to say real quick regarding the type of game they're playing is, I think at this point, Street Fighter is obviously the more popular content, as you pointed out, Rob. And maybe it's time to go all in on Street Fighter for a bit. And then what can you do to get even more views on that? Well, I would make, more guides. Like I saw a beginner's guide. Like,
look at this.
Yeah.
A month ago, when I was doing the character guides, tens of thousands of views.
Yeah.
So that's what their audience is expecting generally. I would say, what YouTube's wanting to feed those viewers. Like, okay, like cool. Like I've just got all of these Street Fighter videos. It's cool. You've gone to Mortal Kombat now. Look at how, and you see how the views just kind of drop off almost instantly. Tens of thousands of views. You had one crossover which had 2,000, then 400. Street Fighter 2, 2000. The pattern is clear, and maybe frustratingly for the creator.
It's good to test out new things, but the Street Fighter stuff that was working well for you was when you were doing a lot of guides. Did they do guides on Mortal Kombat? Or did they just kind of jump into a different type of Mortal Kombat content? Kind of hard. I don't play these games, so it's kind of hard to know. I can't pick out what might be a guide. But yeah, that's another thing. Like if you want to play these other games, then make the type of content that would attract that new audience too. Like when we're talking about just search-driven content. Like, okay, you talked about unlocking all the characters in Street Fighter and you want to jump to Mortal Kombat, start from scratch again. Like, okay, I want to unlock all the characters in Mortal Kombat. I guess the lesson here is don't assume because somebody likes one type of game you're playing, they're going to like the other just because you do. As someone who's dabbled in gaming channels myself, I would love it if that were true. It's just, in my experience, not true. So that's how I would approach it.
That is Onestep, and I just need to inform you that while we have 700 plus people watching, but only 570 likes, this will continue. We've got 600 likes. That's good. That's what I wanted. Thank you very much. I can't believe I worked so well, actually. We got like 100 likes just from me playing that little thing. Thanks, Savage, for once. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right.
My graphics card is like whirring right now because of all the video assets we just...
Here's how the random claw section of today works. We have 600 submissions in the non-gaming channel. We have 540, so I need to adjust my claw to suit the number of channels that have submitted. So I'm just going to put in a number of about 650. That should cover them all. And what we do is we pick out a number from the pit, and it is channel number 105. We have no idea what we're encountering here. So we type in the number and we take the link and we look at what we're going to audit here. And rather randomly, but surprisingly, I remember this channel because in the community tab a couple of months ago, they said something along the lines of monetizing your channel is harder than becoming a lawyer. And I used that reference in a couple of videos. And now, by chance, we get to do a channel audit on them. So they are oh so close now to 1,000 subscribers. Very, very almost there. And it looks as if their content is maybe a little different to Emily D. Baker's, that they're maybe looking at I don't know, when cops get in trouble, they do something wrong in some of these videos, or like a man gets arrested. I need to check that this is all PG content as well. I'm not going to click on anything. But Dan, what are your first impressions here? So I just scroll up and down the thumbnails.
So if this person is indeed a lawyer, and I expect they might be, I think the pitch of the content should probably change, because for a while now they've tried this title thumbnail strategy where you just go for like the breaking news. Here's like a thumbnail that's kind of relevant to it. Like I actually saw this story pop up on my news feed today, the cocaine found in the White House news. So like that is the very, very basic approach to it. But what if it was lawyer reacts, which is what a lot of law channels do? Like, what does this mean for blank, 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 blah, blah, blank? So there's the pitch needs to change. You should be putting yourself up front a little bit more in these titles and thumbnails as like a lawyer explaining, like you have this expertise, and I think that's going to be really important. That's what sets the law channels apart, because it's clear the second you see the video that that's a lawyer. Like that's not just anybody talking about the news. That's somebody with like a law background talking about the news.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So like these thumbnails in particular, these could almost be the montage ones of just people getting arrested, like fights, gunfire and whatever. But what we're hoping for is probably a more considered legal approach to this content. And that vibe doesn't really come across. It's almost like it's trying to be sensationalist and shocking, but it's probably not really working for their intended audience. From a guess, from like the view counts and the lack of building traction that they seem to have here.
Right. Covering a lot of stuff and quickly, you know. Which is also good. Like this means you're jumping on trends, but so is every major news organization. So you got to bring your unique perspective to it. And if that means you're a lawyer and you have this unique take, then that should be front and center.
So let's maybe do a little bit of fantasy booking on this title, and how might we change this? Like, could the question be along the lines of, I mean, I'm going a bit sensationalist here, but could Joe Biden get arrested for this? Or like, you know, what's the legal implications of finding a Class A drug in the White House?
Right. Like, who's to blame?
This is a what, isn't it? This is a what, but like, this lawyer has to try and tease out the why. Why is this interesting to me and my audience?
Right. Yeah, that's what's missing here. It's hard for I'm trying, but like I think the simplest way I can think of this is lawyer reacts, which is a thing on YouTube. So I'd start there, but if you want to be a little more original, kind of dig a little bit deeper and talk about, I don't know, yeah, like even asking what does this mean, as if to imply something's going to happen now because of this, you know, and something will probably happen because of it, but yeah, that is where I'd be coming from, because just saying the headline is like, I don't know. It's going to be too much noise now in a really busy ecosystem where everyone's talking about this.
Can we have a quick official hello from Scratchy McScratcherface?
Here is the tail. This is a free spirit. Okay, I can't.
There it goes. I still need to get some Jaws music for like whenever we just see the tail wagging at the bottom of the screen. Like a punch noise when it just slaps you in the face. Right, let's pick a gaming channel next. The channel is 452. And I grab the link here. I paste it in. And this channel is A.D. at 1,500 subscribers. And I'm getting... What is this, a Roblox horror mod? Just a guess from the thumbnails. I could be wrong.
Yeah. 38,000 views on one of these.
No clip VR walk. No clip. Is that the game?
That might be the game.
Yeah. And it's a VR version of this game?
Yeah. So they did a challenge in that video. Is it possible to beat No Clip VR without dying?
Yeah.
That's great. That sounds like it took a lot of effort. You had to think of this challenge. You had to actually do it. You know, probably had to film it a couple times. That's really cool. And it looks like they're trying different things and seeing spikes of success, like Gorilla Tag, but I can't see. Is it possible to beat No Clip VR with a VR walking only? Again, like So there's something there with no clip VR. Yeah, is it possible? And doing something really simple. Here's the thing about these types of challenges. They need to look and feel simple to the average person. Even though I don't know what this game is, I know what that would mean. An example I used a lot is a channel called Settled. They have a RuneScape series where they unlocked the game one tile at a time. And the way they pitched the thumbnail, you would know what that means just by looking at the title and thumbnail. Like, the game is made up of tiles, and it's their character with a tile and a lock floating over it. You know, it's so simple, and it's just a challenge that they decided to take on for themselves. So you're doing that in these titles and thumbnails that are performing really well. Is it possible to beat this game with walking only, meaning you're not going to fight anything? That makes sense to me as someone who's never played the game.
I think that's the title formula, Dan. I think they should experiment, maybe do 5 videos in a row. And if it means you don't post as many videos and it takes longer, that's fine. Just commit to this idea of title formula. Is it possible, blank, beat no clip, blank, something like that? And you could probably generate 5 to 10 ideas. You could maybe use a vidIQ AI coach to help you fill in the blanks, so to speak, or however you do it. But yeah, like, these are the 2 outliers, and there's a very clear pattern in the title. And once you've got that title, that determines, that governs the direction of a video. And you probably will have the most focus in those videos, which is making them successful. Like, to any other general things like thumbnail suggestions, or are we pretty good here? Like, it looks like it's a horror game, but they have this bright yellow character, which kind of creates a nice contrast. And then they're using text, which is generally easy to read as well.
Yeah, I think this is a really good start. The thumbnails, okay, so like they have all the good basic elements down. The next thing I would be doing is looking at other no clip thumbnails and just seeing, okay, what other improvements can I make? Because these do feel like there's room for improvement, but they get the basic message across. And that's all. When it comes to thumbnail design, people ask us, what are your tips for thumbnail design? You don't need to be a graphic designer. Like, just get the basics. That means watch some Photoshop tutorials so you understand your way around whatever software you're trying to use, Photoshop, Canva, whatever it might be. Watch some tutorials, and then just keep it simple. You know, you have your character doing a thing. You have something in the image that represents, it gives that audience. It's just about creating a clear message. I'm looking at the title and thumbnail, and I know what I'm going to get when I click on the video. That's all the goal is for title and thumbnail. That's it. So you don't need to make a masterpiece. It just needs to communicate a clear message.
Dan, you know what I forgot to do at the start of this live stream?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What was it?
You want to talk about games.
Self-indulgent Rob Wilson Gaming Corner. Yeah. So every week I ask you, what video are you playing? What video game are you playing right now? And it is accompanied by a sound effect from my gaming history that you need to try and guess. And today's sound effect is... Do you know what that sound effect is? Let us know in the comments, along with the video game you are currently playing. I will confess, 6 weeks into this journey, I'm still with God of War Ragnarok. I was playing through the levels. I'd just done part of a story, and then Atreus said, hey, let's not carry on. Do you want to explore a little bit more? And I said, yes, let's explore this area. And now it's just an entire new massive world that I'm having to work through. And I've been in there for 4 or 5 hours. So God of War for me. Dan, what are you playing?
The Steam Summer Sale's going on right now. Slavguard. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm trying to beat the storyline of Diablo 4. I didn't play it yet, but I think it's called Dave the Diver. It's something that a lot of people are talking about right now. It's just sweeping Steam, and the summer sale's going on. So this is a really good time to just load up on stuff. So that's what I'm starting to do.
And we can see people playing Animal Crossing, The Walking Dead, chess.
Nice.
Right on, chess.
Chess is having a comeback.
It is, yeah. And a lot of people were definitely right with... I think the original time this came in a game, I mean, it is Yoshi. It is jumping on Yoshi when in Super Mario World. That's where the sound effect is from. But it's very iconic, as no doubt you heard, and you are correct. But yeah, people playing games and having fun doing it. So that was Self-Indulgent Rob Wilson Gaming Corner. Let's get back to picking some channels to audit. This is going to be a non-gaming channel. We'll do 403 this time. Nope, not 3. 403. Thank you. Fitness is a comedy shorts channel, so this one might be a little difficult to audit because we may need to actually click on some of the shorts. Okay, so when a homeless woman is very hungry, bread versus garlic bread, only Allah God knows this. No, funny. Do just ask her, bro. When does she do this? So maybe some relationship kind of stuff, like the stereotypes of certain genders, that type of stuff. I don't know if I want to click on these, but Dan, what I'm noticing immediately, now this is unusual, right? This is unusual. View counts are flat, nothing. Like we talk about YouTube gives channels a sample size. It looks as if YouTube isn't even doing this at all for this channel.
Were these all uploaded like today is the question.
Curious. All right. So there are some here with thousands of views, right? So we do need to maybe investigate that. So there's something happens here, right? So yeah, we'll click on this one, but I'll pause it immediately because I don't know what the language is going to be. This was posted June 29th, right? So that is about a week ago. And then all of this has been posted since. It's not too much. I'd say that's 2 or 3 shorts a day. But this is
what if they were
curious.
all posted on the 29th? If you look at the latest one, when was that posted?
All right, okay. You're making me work here. All right. So
Do you think this guy had a
pause that and go to there. So no, I'd say this,
Okay.
the spreading the load, so to speak.
Let's go back. Let's play that short, but mute it because there's something I noticed about it.
Which one did you want?
The one you just clicked on, the latest one.
Okay.
I'm noticing the same
Latest.
face appear in all these shorts.
Hang on.
But
Yeah, mute.
mute, let it play. Okay. I think what's happening here is this channel at first looked like a channel that might have been reacting to different TikToks and things. But they put a picture of themselves on that short just doing this. And it's not a video, it's just a picture. And it makes me wonder if sometimes they're taking shorts from other channels or TikTok, because I'm noticing like TikTok
there's
watermarks.
Watermark there. Yeah.
Like sometimes it's them in the short, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're just kind of put their face on it, but they're not really like doing anything with it.
It is the same username, so I think they are just taking their own TikToks and putting them onto YouTube. You need to get rid of a watermark, ideally. To do that.
But no, I mean, just also like if you're going to use someone else's short and you just put a picture of yourself on it, like that's not really how you repurpose content.
Oh,
that's just like a lesson in like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I think I may have noticed something here. So, all right, I could be completely wrong about this, but like you look at these shorts and they're getting generally thousands of views, which is, but then there's really flat ones again here, which is really strange. But I look at this one and there is something less, that imagery. I don't know if YouTube could have picked up as maybe a false flag, because everything after it gets no views whatsoever, which is really weird. But then
there's enough going
down,
on. There's enough going on in this channel where I feel like we should move on just based on our own terms.
Maybe you've hit a community guideline violation and that's suppressed the content. You're right, Dan. It's one of these where maybe we don't want to get ourselves in trouble by mis-auditing the channel or discovering something that we shouldn't. So apologies in this case. All right. Next channel. What was that? That was a non-gaming channel, wasn't it? So this is a gaming channel. 536. Yeah, thanks for pulling me out there, Dan. I was trying to investigate further when probably it was best to just leave that one be as a channel. S for me.
That's what we were just on this one.
What?
Yeah, this is the same one we were on, I think, already.
Huh?
Few shorts.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, hang on. I'm getting myself really confused. Right. Why didn't it copy?
No, you're still on it.
Yeah. How did I do that? Copy. Paste. There we go.
There we go.
JGG.
Okay. So definitely Roblox, 14,000 views, 4.7K views. Wow.
Ooh, okay. Right.
And then some videos just a month ago that were doing really poorly in terms of views, just by comparison.
Untitled boxing game. Tell me more about Untitled boxing game. I mean, isn't it interesting now? Like that's all I've typed in, and it's auto completed. So this must be going gangbusters on YouTube right now.
Good thumbnails. I would be learning from these examples here, from these creators. These are really strong thumbnails in some cases here. As we get down the list, not as much, but
so you're seeing opportunities here, like tiny channels, with big views. So like you found your moment on YouTube.
Yep, this is it.
This is it. Just get after it. Generate 50 ideas about untitled boxing game and go for it.
Yep.
Do shorts.
Try to
change your channel banner. Let's go, go, go.
Live in that community, because if and when that game loses its popularity, most do, you'll want to make sure you are following that community to the next trend. Is there another fighting Roblox game that they're going to jump to? Because that's where you'll pivot. But for now, enjoy this. This new style is heartbreaking. Like, this is great. You know, titles and thumbnails are strong here. Using 0.4% of players can use this so only certain people can use this style. Give some tips and tricks. Like, sit down, come up with as many ideas as you can, and just start executing. Get a cadence going of maybe like a video a week, 2 videos a week. This is perhaps a new trend in the Roblox community, and you are now this channel.
Congratulations for finding it and getting in there. Yeah, there's a transformation in the thumbnails as well. We just seem to have gone up a level. With this new style. So well done, well done. Right. Okay. I'm going to do something now, Dan, which is to play the music. That means we're going into super chats. We've got a lot of super chats. We need to go through. This is going to be quick fire. I'm not going to lie. Like, if you're sending us a super chat right now, I don't know if it's going to get read out because we've got a lot to get through. So I don't know. Maybe I have to do like 1 sentence answers here to try and get through as many of these as we can. Starting with The Adventures of Luca and Glyn. Tips for a channel that has mixed niches. Stop mixing your niches, I would say. If we're being brutally honest, we've been talking about niches all day and how drilling down is going to work best for you as a creator. Poor Affection Art by Tressie. What editing app do you recommend, or does it matter? I've always used InShot. I
use Premiere. I know Rob uses Camtasia. It's mostly about, does your editing software meet your needs, and do you enjoy using it? Because people don't really notice, what editing software you use.
True. Isn't InShot a mobile app? In which case, CapCut.
It might be.
I've heard a lot of good things about CapCut as well. But as you say, it's not really about the tools. It's how you use those tools to present your content. Next question is when The Adventures of Lucia and Glyn again shouting, when posting videos daily versus full force? I don't understand the question.
I don't understand the question. If you're posting daily, though, I would say you don't need to do that. I would say quality over quantity, especially after you've kind of like started on YouTube. So I would just, look at the channel we saw earlier with like 100,000 views on their first video because they spent like a ton of time on it. Like, I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but take a step back and like try and like strategize each video.
We've got a new member, and this is a unique sound effect.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Yeah, so sometimes when I press something, the computer just freezes for a few seconds, but I'm back, and that was the special sound effect that they got. So Bear Zapper BBQ, thank you. Next question, where am I? I've completely lost my train of super chats. Driven TG, does a call to action hurt audience retention in shorts?
It's not great, depending on what you're doing. I've seen them work pretty well at the end of a short. Like Dylan Hollis is someone I mentioned. They made a cookbook, which is very relevant to what they do on their channel. And they sometimes they'll open the oven and the cookbook will be sitting there. Oh, look, you can buy this, and it's in the description. Like, they'll just be really, really quick about it. But people who linger on it any longer than that, like, typically that's like your invitation to swipe away.
Toxic Zen with the €1 super chat. Maybe that was a super sticky. We appreciate you. We love it when people send us super chats to tell us just how awesome we are. And this is Rarely Dad Alterna. I just want to thank you for the tremendous help you have given me when who's he talking about? Let's say they're talking about Savage. When his advice
with
and the
this advice.
And the video, he has allowed me to grow to over 70,000 subscribers faster than I thought. I love you guys. We love you back. Next super chat comes from Dr. Voisenstein. One short got 6,500 views, but rarely any subs. Why? It's usually harder to convert subs from shorts, and we don't necessarily recommend putting in a call to action in the short to get people to sub because you just haven't got room for that. My offer to you will be this. The fact that it got a lot of views means that people probably watched it and got satisfied, which means that the next time they're in a shorts viewer and they're swiping through, you have a much higher chance of appearing in the shorts queue, irrespective of whether they subscribe. So try not to get too down about not gaining subscribers from it, even though you may be working towards the monetization requirements. Myogi, I have 936 subs. Should I monetize or should I wait? So does this mean that you've been invited to John YPP because you've passed 500 subscriber threshold, but you've not got to 1,000 yet? I would say if they've given you the invitation, don't wait. Just get all of the process done now. That's applying, agreeing to terms of service, being reviewed. Because when you hit 1,000 subscribers, you want to be able to monetize your content as soon as you can. So I don't see any reason why you should wait. Dan, can you think of a reason why someone should wait?
When it comes to memberships and things like that, I would just warn that you should, be growing your community. Yeah. And you don't want to just start like asking people for money when you're still kind of in your YouTube infancy. So it depends on how big your community is. And if you feel like you have a really good value to offer, if you're going to do the membership route or, supers and things like that.
Moving on to Boone Broadcast. I just started out my YouTube channel. Welcome to YouTube. Focuses on cognitive psychology. I am curious if you have good informational channels that I could use as a reference for what can work best. Whiteboarding, occasional text pop-ups, etc.
Solve problems.
Dr. Sten Ekberg, although I don't know if his content is directly related to what you do. Ali Abdal might be another one to look at in terms of these graphical usage of content. Yeah, I can't think of anyone specifically other than the ones we've mentioned. Another thing you probably want to do is research the channels in your topic that are performing really well and see how they illustrate their content as well. Sometimes it can be tough when you're asking about a specific genre and what are the best channels to look at. we're not entirely sure on that one.
Right.
FerretTube TV. Wow, great advice. Thank you. You over-delivered full show. Much respect from me and the Floof Noodles.
That's a great name for ferrets.
Yeah, so I would guess that's kind of like your primal branding, your lexicon, like you've given a name to presumably your ferrets or whatever, the Floof Noodles. Interesting. Mighty Chuggus. Hey all. So my videos are on average 10 to 30 minutes long, I guess, but they aren't 10 to 30 seconds long, I assume then, but they aren't shorts. If I was to remix them into shorts, would that affect my analytics? Thank you.
Remix. I wouldn't use YouTube's remix function for that. I would just try to re-edit them and crop them into shorts. Yeah. Will they affect your analytics? Oh, I don't think it'd be a negative impact. There are people who actually re-upload shorts onto shorts again and see different impact from that. So I don't think you see any harm there if you want to try it with a couple. Yeah, I'd be really curious. There are channels to this day I find that upload 30-second long-form videos, and those do just fine. Certain things just work better when you have a title and thumbnail attached to them, and certain things you just put on shorts. I don't know. It's kind of up to you.
Dan, we probably need to have a chat about cross-format analytics. You know, the one that shows you people who watch videos or shorts.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
And most of the time we're seeing a low percentage of people who watch both of your types of content. So that kind of indicates how little the two can potentially impact each other. But yeah, I think we need to do a longer discussion on that.
I think so.
One. Okay, I think I missed this super chat. I'm an educational music channel. Would a website help me reach more people? If so, could I also offer my guitar lesson services, or should I keep them separate? I think this is exactly what you should be doing. to build a business out of your channel. You use it as a discovery platform, and then people discover you, and then once in a while you make a video that's kind of tied a little bit to what you can offer off platform. So that is selling a digital product or service, or selling a course, or selling your consultation expertise, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Dan, any advance on that, or we good?
Nailed it.
All right, next super chat comes from Second Chair Music. How much does production value really matter? I can upload a lot more if I just focus on storytelling more and not use so many motion graphics. I think if you're an awesome storyteller, that is one of the biggest superpowers you have. So experiment with lower production quality, but better stories told with better ideas. We got another one here. RT Foolish Intelligence with a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you. And also Jackson Fish Rooms. On the road to 500 subscribers. We wish you all the best on that journey. And we have... Do you have any sound effects, Dan? Or is it...
I don't.
All right. So Zan Strategies sound effect is going to be... crickets.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for becoming a member.
That's all I could offer you today. All I could offer you. And now I've got to get back to my cash sound effect. Right. I would love the channel to evaluate. Okay, I assume English is not your first language. But recently 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations to you. As we always say, super chats do not guarantee you a channel audit, because we would be very rich, but we would only have about 20 people watching this live stream, and we don't want that to happen. And we've got another one here from RT Foolish Intelligence. What are your suggestions for a comedic channel that wants to offer visually appealing shorts that are not consistent with long form videos? So again, we've just talked about that, how the crossover between longs and shorts sometimes isn't that strong. So you can almost have a shorts collection of content that doesn't directly relate to your long form content. I don't want to tell you to definitely do that, but that's the patterns we're seeing in the analytics. What about you, Dan?
Yeah. Offer visually appealing shorts, not consistent with long form video. When they say, I'm just hung up on that with not consistent with long form videos part. Like maybe like they don't really see long form videos that do what they're doing too much, and that's why they're saying that. Or maybe they mean their own long form videos. It's hard to know, and it kind of the answer would vary between those two. But if you want to, just advice for comedic channels, like start with just, some intrigue the second people scroll the short. Don't waste any time introducing yourself. Like get in there and like make it clear that like, okay, you're here, you're probably gonna laugh. That's the best advice I can give without fully understanding the question.
Alrighty. I'm just doing something in the background here for a moment. And what do we have? We have a couple more super chats that are looking forever. Recently hit 1,000 subscribers vlog content. I don't know what you mean by looking forever, but congratulations on 1,000 subscribers to Prince Ender. And the last one is a super sticky, 20 Danish kroner. I'm going to potentially suggest that was. All right, we have about 15 minutes left. And what we're going to do now, Dan, is we're going to welcome a brand new member to the vidIQ family. You're going to be seeing this person quite a lot with short form content, be it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts in the future. Can we welcome to the stage? I'm making this dramatic. Our new creator in residence, Jaden Young. Jaden, it is a pleasure to have you on. Introduce yourself to the vidIQ Nation.
Hello, vidIQ Nation. My name is Jaden Young. I am a 20-year-old content creator who specializes in more so short form content.
Wow. You just made me feel very, very, very old.
It's okay. You make me feel very young.
Dang.
Where's the sound effect there? Nice comeback. So, thank you, Dan. So, as a short form content creator, we've lined up 3 channels that are actually shorts-based channels to help ease Jaden into some channel audits. Dan, I think if this is all right with you, I'm going to be here for this first audit, and then I need to disappear off. So are you okay holding the final 10 minutes
Yes.
of a channel audits. Okay, awesome. So let's audit this channel. That's called Diggs Games. They have just 8 subscribers. And I think maybe what we'll do is we'll just play one short and then we'll start to feedback on it. So it's the unexpected surprise I caught #shorts. Hopefully you can hear this. Okay, and I think that was the short, about 10 to 12 seconds long. So, Dan, I'll throw it over to you first, and then let's get Jaden in on this auditing action.
Well, maybe you should throw it to Jaden first, so I just have to set up the thing in the background.
All right.
Alrighty. The first thing I did notice that I compare your short form gaming videos with people who have millions and get thousands of views in their short form gaming videos. One of the biggest things, well, one of the biggest differences is there's no commentary.
Yeah.
A lot of the higher ups in that industry have a lot of commentary. And along with that commentary come these big, bold, fun looking captions. So I think that would be your next step. Get some commentary in there. Make your audience, whether the clip is supposed to be funny, whether it's supposed to be serious, whether you're going for maybe the most amount of kills you've ever went for, etc. Things like that. Get some commentary in there. And it just makes your audience want to come back for more, because now they're not in there just for the gameplay. Now they're in there for you and what you bring to the table.
Yeah, there was no story being told once you were in the shot, was there? There was no way to create stakes or I don't even know what the unexpected surprise was there. I needed some more communication in there as well. So yeah, sorry, I didn't realize, Dan, you'll have to load up these things on your screen. So are you all set up to start sharing on your side?
Yes. 1 second. Hold on. I'm not quite there yet, but I will be in a second.
Okay, so just looking through the channel generally, Jaden, it looks as if they have a niche of fish. Was it fishing in Destiny 2? I'm confused here.
Yeah,
is that a thing?
I haven't played Destiny 2 in a while, but yeah, it's fishing more so. And that's good though that they have a niche, but I really think that starting off next with the commentary would just take the videos to another level. And then after that, you can kind of worry about the visuals, how does this look? How would captions look with this? So therefore, you're just building on top of your niche and then building your community within that.
All right, Dan, I believe a transfer is now complete. Thank you for the handover there.
Yeah.
We've also got someone else in the green room here as well. Hey, it's Travis.
Hey,
what's
everybody.
going on?
How goes it, everybody? Listen, I got bad news for this live stream. I got good news for people who are part of vidIQ Max, but I got some bad news for the people of this live stream, because y'all about to get a couple light. You got 4 now. You're going to go down to 2, because in mere 10 minutes, the man himself, Rob Wilson's going to be doing a private voice call with members of the vidIQ Max community in our Discord, where they're going to ask him any question they want about anything. And the thing that makes it different than what this is right now is that you literally going to come up and voice talk to Rob Wilson. If you've ever wanted to do that, it's an amazing thing. I've done it myself. It's fun. I'm excited about that.
I'll have some good news for you, Savage.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Travis.
Yes.
I'm wearing the right kit for
Hey, there we go. All right,
kitted
let's go.
So yeah, bye everybody. You're
Yeah.
not as important as vidIQ Max, any of you.
All right.
It's
Oh, wow.
The 800 people watching.
Jeez
So,
Louise.
sayonara until next.
Cheers. Bye.
Okay. Now it's just Jaden and I for a minute. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey. So I have another shorts channel for you to look at.
I love it.
This is LinkinPaw. They make Minecraft shorts. And
Minecraft.
already at high quality in terms of just looking at the videos themselves, I could tell they're gonna be captioned. The screen has been cropped correctly, nice and sharp. I'm not sure, because I just set this up in haste. I'm not sure if you can hear what I'm gonna click on, but we'll just test this out real quick.
Let's do it.
Can you hear it?
Okay, I cannot, but I love it so far.
Okay. So it is, just so you know, a real person commentating, and everything you're seeing on the screen is their captions of them speaking.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I'll let it play. What are your thoughts as you just kind of watch this go through?
I love how intuitive it is. It's like you kind of know what to expect, but you don't at the same time because the cuts are so fast. I love that. Please continue doing that down the line. I love the captions. The captions keep me engaged. For example, for anyone in this live who didn't know, more than 80% of people watching short form content, whether it's on like Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram Reels, they don't listen with the sound, like they don't have the sound on, they're just scrolling. And so that's one of the biggest reasons that you need captions, and intriguing captions at that. So I do love that. One thing I will say, I know it's short form, but I would love to see a face cam. Face cams, I really gravitate because I watch a lot of gaming videos, and Minecraft is a part of that gaming video niche that I love to watch. And one thing I noticed with the people who have millions of views and millions of subscribers is that they somehow fit a face cam, like very small, probably at the top corner of their videos. And I love it because now I get to put a face to a voice.
Yeah.
And so it just makes me want to stay on the videos even longer. But I love what they have so far.
I think for gaming shorts, this is the right way to do it, right? Like imagine scrolling to it and the very first thing you see and hear is somebody just like dropping facts. So the first word is jungle. So jungle villagers have been in Minecraft for years, and you saw how many cuts there were.
And that was 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's just no time at all, and we already have a sense of what this video is about before we swipe away. We've just swiped to this randomly. We watched a cooking video, we watched a cat video, and boom, Minecraft video pops up. And it's not just for like my Minecraft Let's Play. It's like, here's just some cool facts about Minecraft. Like, if you've heard of this game before, did you know that jungle villagers have been in here for this many years? Like,
right. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah. So it's very approachable for anyone in or outside of LinkinPaw's audience.
Very.
Which is exactly what we want to see. So looking at some of their other content, which is not there. Here we go. When was this uploaded, first of all? That's going to make a difference. This was uploaded in July 1st. So it's sitting at 2,000 views.
That's definitely going to go up.
You think so?
I think so. And the reason I think so is because what I tend to see is if a video does pretty well, if a video gets anywhere from 1,000 to about 3,000 views on that first day or within like a couple days, I give it about a week and then it's gonna like triple. That's one thing that I've noticed with short form. It's very predictable in that sense.
I can show you one we have that's doing really well right now to just kind of back up what Jaden's saying. It's called They Took a Massive Risk on YouTube. It's very small. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. So this short is still popping off, and it started here, a very normal trajectory for a vidIQ short.
Very
just
normal.
Like ho hum la di da, boom, first big like jump. Then it kind of it's doing okay, and boom,
another big jump.
Yep, and it's just continuing on this path now. So that can definitely happen, and for this channel, it probably has happened in the past.
Even with the 16,000 viewed video.
Yeah. So here's their most popular ones. How long have they been at it? Not long at all. Whew. Yeah.
So please keep going, because the more and more you post, it's going to be a snowball effect.
Yeah, I would say that this top row here, this is what I want to see from now on. I don't want to see your cat. I like cats. I don't want to see your cat in shorts. These random Roblox games and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
your
not doing it.
Audience obviously loves Minecraft. And if you love Minecraft as much as they love Minecraft, it's going to be night and day the type of content that you can produce.
Yep. And then the next shorts channel before we get the last of these super chats here, that's not it, is we didn't see this one yet. Bean Rico rules, I think. Did we look at this one already?
I think so. We didn't look at it though.
Sorry, I did set this up. So this was not the one you guys looked at while I was setting up.
No.
Okay, perfect. So I recognize this, I think, as Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
And I would say, let's look at the latest one, but that doesn't have any views. I'm guessing it might have just been uploaded. So the easiest way to get keys loot. So it's no voice, only game sounds, like music and suspense sounds.
Okay.
Oh, this was not the video that I clicked on. That was the latest video. And it's YouTube's doing that thing again where it doesn't care what I click on. This is the one I meant to click on. Okay. So this is the easiest way to get loot. Again, it's just game sounds, like no voice at all.
Okay. Well, if that is the case, I would automatically have the pretty much exact same advice that I had for the very first channel audit, which is definitely get some commentary in there. Definitely commentary plus dope looking captions is a very easy formula for success with gaming YouTube shorts, to be specific. Because even if you take a look at the channel that we just did before this, what did they have that your video didn't?
Yeah.
Captions, commentary. And so that formula right there will set you up for success. And it's a formula that you can get better at over time. Mm-hmm. Because maybe your first commentary video, you know, maybe you're going to sound monotone. Maybe you're going to be nervous speaking in the mic. About 10 videos in, now you're very excited. Let me show you guys how to do this. And so now they're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, what is Link doing today? And so now that will definitely level up your videos.
This should start almost right here.
Yeah.
Short. There's a lot of stuff happening in the first few seconds that doesn't indicate if you're not going to talk. Yeah. If you're going to talk, I think all that footage was good because you see the keys kind of flying in the air. Like, that's very ominous. And you could be saying, did you know about this trick to get tons of loot from these things? Like, that would be great. And then you start to scroll over to the bomb arrow. Like, so you make this bomb arrow real quick. Boom. Very satisfying. So if you're not going to talk, it should have started there, in my opinion. But
simple as that.
It should really be like, I think this is a great video for commentary, and someone you can look at is PointCrow, who does a lot of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom shorts. And I wish I had my sound working so you could hear what is being said. But
I watch PointCrow. I know.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He always tells a story, right? Like, so this is like always a story from a live stream, and you know, my stream chat did the impossible, and so he's, you know, bringing you into the content, and he says my stream chat did the impossible is the first line.
And
so
that's
you know,
an amazing hook.
Yes, you know what he's going to be talking about.
Now it's like, oh, now I got to see what the impossible is.
Right, exactly. I've given my viewers yet. Okay, I'm sorry.
Even if you pause it there, as I was referring to as the second channel audit, the face cam.
Yep.
Prime example.
The great way to repurpose live stream clips, because he did two things. He didn't just upload a live stream clip as a short and leave it alone without context. He added a hook and added context for the audience who was not during the live stream. So these are some really great strategies, I think, for like finding those really viral moments in shorts.
Definitely.
So yeah, Jaden, thank you for that.
Of course.
We have some super chats, but real quick, you are on our vidIQ TikTok now.
Yes, I just started, and a video will be going up today. So if you guys go check out the YouTube, not the YouTube, if you go check out the TikTok for vidIQ, the exact name is vidIQ.TikTok. So if you go check that out, go press follow. You'll be seeing my face a lot more, and it'll be an amazing time. We'll be dropping gems.
So thank you for all the super chats. There is no guarantee that we will get to every super chat at this point in the live stream, so do keep that in mind, but we'll try to do these quickly. A lot can be learned for free, but are there any paid quality resources or courses or paid channel audits with the expectation of higher quality? So a minute ago, Rob Wilson was pulled away from this live stream to join vidIQ Max and do a session with them. vidIQ Max is our group coaching service, which is a paid service. And you can learn more in the description below. We're very biased because we have services like this. We have an announcement coming out very soon about another paid service that you could find useful. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, they're like our friends over at Think Media do stuff like this as well. So yeah, those are just some other resources off the top of my head. But yeah, that is nothing we have right now gives you a one-to-one channel audit like what we do here. There's no paid way to do this because we can't really scale it. As soon as we offer that, we'll get so many people buying in, we just physically won't have the time. But the things we are doing in the background are things that as a company we can do to scale them and make sure that we can get it to as many people as possible. So I'd highly recommend checking that out. And wait a sec, because yeah, we have another announcement coming out soon. What kind of cars do you drive? Do you like them? I won't be talking about that for myself. I don't know if Jaden, you want to share, but I'm not a sharer.
You know, me personally, it gets me from A to B.
Yeah.
And, you know, I enjoy my car. It's fine. Would I like a new car? Of course.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. But I drive a Ford, if that helps.
Thank you for your supers. I make comedy videos about AI with deforum plus stable diffusion. The deforum videos are beautiful. I use them as shorts, but are very different from the comedy videos. Should I stop posting the shorts? This was like from an earlier question they asked about like posting comedy. And so now they're like kind of breaking down like what they do. If you believe, and just do tests and look at your analytics, if you believe what you're doing could appeal to the same audience, and it sounds like it might, it's all stable diffusion, AI imagery.
Right.
I don't see why you can't do both, but look at the data. Do 10 videos of one type and 10 videos of another and see, like, does one just way outperform?
Yes, definitely. Because, and I found this out very early, when you try to appeal to very different audiences on the same platform, it's hard to grow. And so if they end up being, looking at your analytics and the data, if they end up being two separate audiences, you might want to start leaning towards one or the other, because it's going to be very hard for you in the long run to scale.
Savage Games says, I make tutorial videos on Unreal Engine 5 for game dev. Would it be a good idea to make a website where I can offer written versions for different learning styles? I can also use AdSense on the site to make money. That's true. If you have the time to do that, if it's not going to take up too much of your life to set that up, that sounds like a great service to offer.
I agree.
It's all about, is it going to take away from other commitments you have? Be it uploading videos, be it taking your kids to a soccer game, be it, you know, whatever it is you have going on, like make sure you have enough time. It's really easy on in this creative ecosystem to like keep piling on responsibilities to the point where you burn out.
Stretching yourself too thin, and you don't want to experience burnout. It's not fun.
Yep. Flight from reality. In the video essay niche, titles, how long is too long? Is brevity always better, or is it worth adding a few extra words for context, or keep it shorter? I would look at your favorite video essay channels to answer that question. That's like the best advice. I've watched some video essay content, but I don't think there's any strategies that they're specifically using that I could say like, oh, well, if you're a video essay channel, you have to do it this way. It's all about, for me, when I do my research, I always start with the channels that I like and I watch, and then I look and see what they're doing and what's resonating with audiences around YouTube. That's kind of I wish I could give you a better answer than that.
That's the formula, though. Look at the people and the channels that are doing what you want to do in the future, and just emulate, not copy, kind of emulate and steal like an artist. Don't be a thief. Steal like an artist.
And then last super chat here. My 7-year-old created a channel, for her piano VODs, I'm guessing, shorts, but no views. But I'm going to guess it means VODs, but VDOS is not a term I'm familiar with.
Maybe it's videos?
Yeah, maybe just videos shortened. Getting a few views. Any advice on how she can grow her channel? I would say if a 7-year-old is playing an instrument, that is going to speak to a level of talent that a lot of people would find impressive. And so I would find a way to demonstrate that talent. You know, I don't exactly know. So like, okay, the video should start with what looks to be a very young person playing piano and nothing else, right? Like, and if there's gonna be a commentary, maybe it's from you as the parent who is like just kind of saying, you know, whatever story is behind the song they're playing or whatever it is they're doing, you're kind of commentating over it. There's like different ways artistically of like kind of putting this content together.
Yes.
But focus on the fact that like, hey, that's impressive. This is a very young person with a really awesome talent.
7-year-old playing piano, which is a skill that very few people have on this planet. So for them to be 7 years old, that's definitely put emphasis on the age, because as they grow, it's just going to, like, as she grows, there's going to be so many people reaching out. She's going to be 10 on stage playing piano for some of the best artists in the world. So just continue to put emphasis on her skill and on her age.
Yep. Tell the story. And just brush up on YouTube community guidelines as well. There are certain guidelines for like children on YouTube and things like that. I can't recite them to you. Just make sure you're doing your research. But yeah. All right. Thank you all so much for an awesome live stream. Jaden, welcome to vidIQ. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We are done. That's it. We'll be back on Tuesday. These are normally on Tuesday if you're new. We're all off yesterday off of work. So now we're back. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is, what's that Pacific? That's like
10 a.m. Eastern time, Pacific.
7 a.m. Pacific?
8.
Or 8?
8 or 7?
It's earlier.
A.m. It's in the a.m.
It's in the a.m. Like, wake up and start taking notes.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you very soon as I look for the outro, which is here.